hate doesn't equal hate. In other words, when a group of people or one person commits acts of violence on someone or a group of people just because of their race, it doesn't mean that you should go out and hurt or kill that other group. All it does is just fuel more hate. I'm back in Dallas, Texas today, and I'm checking out one of the most egregious mass casualties against law enforcement that has plagued Texas. This video is about the 5 Dallas police officers who were killed in a single night by one perpetrator who was frustrated over the fact that there had been some preceding black people who had been killed by police, and so this particular individual took out his revenge on those particular white police officers. So anyway, we're going to get into the video, and I'm going to show you 3 of the 5 victims' graves. I couldn't find all 5, but I found 3 of them, and then we're going to talk about, of course, the events of what happened. So in the late hours of July 7th, 2016, perpetrator Micah Xavier Johnson ambushed a group of police officers who were there in kind of downtown Dallas, Texas, trying to kind of be there, as there had been some, of course, rioting, since there were a few preceding black people who had been killed in varying states, and so people had come together as a protest. However, one of those people in attendance, of course, was the perpetrator, Micah Johnson, and he ended up opening fire on numerous police officers. The shooting happened around 8:58 p.m. July 7th, and again kind of continued on throughout the night until 2:30 the next morning. Micah Johnson had brought with him a AK-74 rifle and a Glock 19 semi-automatic handgun. So again, just before 9, Micah parked his SUV on Lamar Street, and he had parked there with his hazards on. He got out of his vehicle. 3 initial officers were killed in the first gun battle. 11 officers ended up firing back at Micah. Micah then made his way farther along on Lamar Street and ended up encountering another officer named Brent Thompson. Brent Thompson was hiding behind kind of like a pillar or column, and so Micah was able to kind of sneak around the other side of the column and ended up killing Brent Thompson. Brent got off at least 1 or 2 hits that ended up wounding Micah Johnson. After shooting at several of the campus police officers and injuring both of them, he actually made his way and ended up shooting and killing another officer by the name of Michael Smith, who was standing in front of a 7-Eleven. Micah had been hiding out in the library of the college. There had been roughly 200 gunshots that had been fired between Micah and some SWAT officers who had arrived. Negotiations had been going on for several hours. However, they weren't really getting anywhere with Micah. He kept claiming that he would only talk to black police officers, as I guess he, once again, did not respect nor trust the white officers. And of course, that is the reason why he started the massacre to begin with. 2:30 in the morning, after again numerous hours of waiting and waiting, the SWAT team ended up sending in like some sort of robot with a C4 bomb attached to it, and they ended up driving the robot in and detonating the bomb, killing Johnson. Now, again, 5 officers were killed in total. 9 other officers were injured, and 2 civilians were injured. The officers who were killed were Dallas Police Department Corporal Lorne Aarons, who was 48. He had been with the department since 2002. Dallas Police Officer Michael Kroll, who was 40. He had been with the department since 2003. Sergeant Michael Smith, 55 years old. He was a former Army Ranger. Dart Police Officer Brent Thompson, 43, who was a enlisted Marine. And Dallas Police Officer Patrick Zamarripa, who was 32 years old. Alright guys, I just found Patrick or Patricio Zamarripa's grave. Again, he was the 5th officer to be killed. Again, he was Dallas Police Officer, 32 years old. And kind of by pure chance or luck, today is actually would have been his birthday. His birthday was August 15th, and I'm filming this on August 15th. His family just came here probably an hour or a couple hours before I came here. They dropped off balloons and cakes. As you can tell, ants have found this source of food. Apparently these are fire ants because they freaking bit me. Oh gosh. Ah, frick. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think those are fire ants, guys. They bit me. Ah. That freaking hurt. Okay, so we're not gonna get too close. Try to bend my camera down. Patrick had worked with the Dallas Police Department for 6 years before he was murdered. Now, before that, he worked 8 years in the Navy and another 5 years in the reserves. He had been over to Iraq 3 different times. And of course, as you could see, he was married and had a 2-year-old daughter. So rest in peace, Patrick or Patricio. May your soul rest in peace, my friend. I'm at the Restland Memorial Park. This is where 2 of the 5 officers who were killed, this is where they're buried. Now next to both men who are buried here is also some other fallen officers and fallen firefighters. There's about, I don't know, I guess 8 or 9 different graves here. From different fallen officers, and next to that is like this circular memorial statue type thing where they have these, as you can tell, like kind of bronze or whatever this is, police uniforms. And again, my camera doesn't zoom in very well, so I don't know if you can see up top here, but there's a couple officers that are being kind of taken up by angels. Again, you probably can't tell because it's super sunny and it's probably out of focus, but anyway, right next to this pretty nice memorial monument is both officers. They're buried almost directly across from each other. So first one coming up here is Lorne Aarons. Again, one of the fallen officers on that terrible massacre in downtown Dallas. It says that he was an officer with the Dallas Police Department for 14 years and had previously served with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department for 11 years prior to that. So he had been a police officer for 25 years. Again, he was the senior corporal on duty that night. And this is his badge number. And again, pretty much right behind his is the other officer that died that night. Again, this is Sergeant Michael Joseph. He was one of the first officers to be killed on the evening of July 7th. Michael was a former U.S. Army veteran, joined the Dallas Police Department, I guess, in 1989. So he had been with the police department for 26 years, I guess. He had been married for almost 20 years and had 2 children. So rest in peace to both Michael Joseph Smith and Lorne Aarons, as well as, of course, the other officers that have died in the line of duty. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for watching, guys. Again, my name's Harmon. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And until next time, I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy and stay safe.